You're listening to From Our Lens, a podcast for photographers and brides where we dive into all things weddings.
Whether you're a pro behind the lens or bride-to-be, we've got you covered.
Join in on the conversation and take it from the gals who have been to a wedding or two.
Grab your camera or your wedding planner and tune in for our hot wedding takes. Let's focus on your forever.
Hello, welcome back. We are doing part 2 today of wedding traditions and why they are a thing, where they came from, the wild, the wacky, and the fun.
We really need to know. It is very interesting what we have discovered.
I liked our last episode and what we
too.
discovered, what we found out.
There were some cool things. There were some wild things.
Yeah, I think
shocking.
It's just interesting to see. Let's just understand what we're doing before we just do it because we have to.
Yeah, and if it's something that is strange and not your vibe and you don't know that and you're doing this tradition, it's sometimes cool to know.
Yeah.
So, should we start off hot?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about engagement rings.
Like why they even are.
Why do we have them? Why does only the girl wear it? Why do we typically use a diamond? What's the tradition behind the proposal?
The proposal.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with the proposal then.
Okay.
We'll kind of go in order. So don't forget what she said.
Okay. Gotcha.
The proposal. As time marched on, the modern tradition of kneeling on one knee to propose began. This tradition was reminiscent of knights from the Middle Ages kneeling to swear allegiance and protection to a woman he cared for.
Okay.
So I didn't know that was even a thing.
I don't really get it.
It says the tradition of proposing on one knee originated in medieval Europe. Back then, it was called the Pledge of Troth, and knights would get down on one knee to formally declare their love and intention to marry their lady. Oh, I love.
That makes sense.
So it pretty much has the same meaning again. And I wonder just like, okay, so it really hasn't changed then.
No.
I'm loving it.
Okay.
I'm loving it. Okay.
So what's the tradition behind engagement rings?
So if you listen to our last episode, we found out that the Romans have weird traditions.
Yeah.
So when I see the word Roman in a sentence, I'm not excited about it.
You think it's going to be weird.
So let's get into this and why we do engagement rings.
Okay.
Sarah looks disappointed already.
I'm intrigued.
Anthropologists believe this tradition originated from a Roman custom, obviously, in which wives wore rings attached to small keys indicating their husband's ownership.
Okay.
Not a fan.
Wait, where's the key?
I don't know. It says Archduke Maximilian of Austria commissioned the very first diamond engagement ring on record for his betrothed Mary of Burgundy. Almost 5,000 years ago, ancient Egypt was the first known culture where people would exchange rings of love, often made of woven reeds or leather. It is said that the Egyptians saw the ring, a circle, as a powerful symbol.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah. But
so it's a symbol of ownership. Love to hear it.
Yeah, we don't I mean, I still love think we all listen, all of us ladies deserve a ring, but I do not believe that we need it because we belong to our men.
No.
Absolutely not.
No, that's a no
Not
from
a
me,
fan.
dog.
Honestly though, okay, but if you're wearing a ring with a key on it, like, is the key just like sticking out from your ring, or maybe the rings were worn as a necklace?
No, I don't think so. That's strange.
I'm trying to be optimistic.
Interesting.
I don't really...
Okay, so what's the diamond?
Okay.
What's the tradition behind the diamond?
So I'm going to there's a bit more about that ownership thing in here, so I'll read that.
Perfect.
But it says Roman women wore rings of ivory, flint, bone, copper, or iron to signify a business contract or to affirm mutual love and obedience. Ugh, throwing up.
I love that.
These newer, more durable materials are what replaced the original reed and hemp bands. It says it was the Egyptian pharaohs who first used rings to represent eternity. See, I like the Egyptians. They're better.
Yeah.
That's because a circle has no beginning and no end and reflects the shape of the sun and the moon.
Cute.
Gold rings and other jewelry were later found in the ruins of Pompeii, proving that the yellow metal became the material of choice in the era, replacing the usage of all of their materials. And then I think we're going to find why diamonds are a thing. So the rise of diamonds, it says... Even though the Archduke, which is what I kind of talked about, how he gave his lady a diamond ring. Yeah. Even though the Archduke was the first to propose with a diamond ring, he was by no means a trendsetter. Oh, Archduke.
Kind of like the white dresses.
Yeah. In fact, diamond engagement rings did not become popular until 1947.
What?
That's shocking. I guess they would have been gold. Gold was very popular.
Probably gold. Yeah. Interesting. 1940s.
So it says when a British company that mined diamonds in South Africa launched an advertising campaign with the help of Hollywood stars and the slogan "A diamond is forever," diamond engagement rings skyrocketed in popularity for the first time. Yeah.
That is very interesting.
I thought there'd be maybe a meaning behind
But
the
I guess
rock.
when did they start mining diamonds too?
That's true.
I don't know.
Well, I think back when it says here kind of what is it? In 1947, that's when they started mining diamonds in South Africa. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought there might be a reason behind that.
No.
But
and
just wanted to make money. I think that's very much money driven. Which is kind of...
We're all part of a marketing
campaign. Scandal.
Oh, that's wild.
Well, let's talk about... This is one that I love, because I already know the meaning behind this. I don't think you did when I talked about it.
I didn't know.
But why we wear our wedding ring on the ring finger.
And on your left.
Or why this finger is our ring finger.
On your left hand, too.
So, I'm just going to find... I know the reason, but I'm going to find the definition. So, the Western tradition of wearing your wedding bands on your left finger goes further back than you might have thought, all the way to the days of ancient Rome. At the time, the Romans believed that a vein ran directly from the fourth finger on the left hand to the heart. The vein was called vena amoris, which translates to vein of love, because of the belief that the heart is the center of our emotions.
Cute.
If one were to wear a ring that represents their passion on this finger, their fate as a couple is sealed and their love is eternal. Even after science debunked the existence of the singular connecting vein.
So that's not true?
It's not true.
That's funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cough there. The trend became so popular that it turned into a millennia-long tradition.
Yeah. So there's not a vein?
No.
Oh.
The Romans, again,
I was going to say, that's kind of strange to
Romans, again, were kind of wild, and they just made something up, I think.
Made things up.
Well, it also says the right hand, because usually it's the left hand, right?
Yes.
So it says, although it's all we as Americans have ever known, many cultures traditionally wear their marital rings on the right hand. For many, this tradition comes from the Latin adjective sinister, which originally meant left before it came to be defined by evil. So it says... Some countries like Colombia and Brazil wear their bands on their right hand, and then after completing their vow transfer, it goes to the left. I like that.
And when you walk down the aisle, you put it on your right and then move it to your left.
Okay. Yeah.
So that makes sense. Interesting.
I didn't actually. I thought there was a vein. I didn't know that was just made up.
Yeah, that's not actually true.
The freaking Romans. Yeah.
So let's take it back to... Why does your dad walk you down the aisle? I think that this is pretty also hopefully makes sense, but maybe there's something funky that is the reason why as well. I would not be shocked.
While today the tradition of walking down the aisle with your dad can be a super special moment, the custom stems from the days of arranged marriages when a father's looming presence was a good way to prevent the groom from backing out. So it's like
intimidation.
Your dad's supposed to scare them into saying yes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Wow, they really thought the grooms were not.
Well, arranged marriage is I get it.
Interesting.
But what is he? Okay, I would love to know, back in the day, if a groom's no, would the dad chase him down?
Probably wouldn't end well.
That's wild. Wow.
Crazy.
Okay.
Good to know.
All right,
So that's what it is. That it's not just because he's giving you. It's to intimidate.
See,
the
we
girl.
in America and Canada, we're oh, your dad's giving you away.
Yeah,
and it's absolutely not about that.
Yeah, interesting.
He is, I think.
Kind of, but also, yeah, interesting. Okay, so what about first dances? Because obviously you have your mother, son, father, daughter, typically. Yeah. So. What's that all about? Actually, before we get into that, we should talk about asking for permission.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, that probably goes back to arranged marriages, too.
Let's just see, but you're probably right.
Yeah.
A man asking a woman's father for her hand in marriage was established from the notion that women were once considered property. Yuck. In fact, even if couples were marrying for love, women were considered to be under the control of men and needed permission from their fathers to leave their family home. Yuck.
Okay.
I mean, we already kind of saw that coming. We did.
Yeah. Next. Okay.
Sarah's let's get out of this topic.
That is wild. Okay. First dances?
Yeah.
Curious about that.
Oh. Wedding dances date all the way back to 16th century European royalty. Guests would honor their newlywed king and queen by gliding across the ballroom as the couple sat and politely watched. It was a tradition full of pomp and ceremony, reserved solely for the purpose of aristocracy. So it really was just like for fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like, what about the first father-daughter?
Yeah, let's see about that.
Maybe that's a newer tradition.
Well, there's another article I want to read actually, because I think there might be maybe a
few
reasons why they do it. As many wedding traditions do, the father-daughter dance stems from our history. Back when most marriages were arranged, the father-daughter dance served as a sort of final demand by the bride's father before their husband became the most important man in their life. After this dance, the bride would be able to dance with her new spouse, whom they had likely only met recently. So they would do this before the first dance, which they do now, I guess. They do. They still do that.
Or no, wait. No.
Yeah.
I feel like now it's first dance first and then parent dances.
That's funny. Yeah. Well, because it says, nowadays, the father-daughter dance doesn't carry the same meaning and seldom comes first.
Yeah.
Initially, in the previous era, the father would have the first dance with his daughter and then give her away to the husband. As culture evolved, many couples opted for the first dance to be theirs. Now you'll find the father-daughter dance taking right place after the
Yes, I feel like most weddings.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it makes sense, like back when that they did the
it all kind of ties into that.
Yeah, totally.
A lot of these traditions. Okay, so what about maybe they didn't used to do mother-son dance, and that's just because. Let's just see.
Well, yeah, that kind of makes sense because the moms probably wanted it on this too.
No, but they're not giving their son away, right? Because he's not property.
Oh, of course.
So maybe they never used to even do that, and now we just do it so that they can do a dance.
Okay.
I don't see anything. Nothing really comes up for that. No. So I think we're right. I think that I'm probably right then in the fact of like it's kind of just as we've evolved, they've wanted to do something to honor the mother. The mother-son dance, however, is a more modern addition to the wedding celebrations. As the meaning of the father of the bride dance changed to a symbol of love and appreciation for your father, couples began including the mother of the groom dances to show appreciation for
that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Yeah. I like that people have evolved and changed it to
I think that's a little bit better.
I do like that.
Okay. Yeah. Along with all of this topic, let's jump to
what about why we do speeches?
Yeah, let's talk about speeches. Because it kind of makes sense, but like what started speeches? Because that's a pretty big part of weddings.
People.
Yeah, for sure.
Traditionally, wedding speeches were given by the parents of the couple, but a little creativity can make the wedding speech more original and enjoyable. Wedding speeches can be traced back to ancient cultures, raising a glass to toast the gods and health. Okay. Which is pretty similar to pretty much what they are. Now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that one is better.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Very, very straight to the point.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we didn't really touch upon this. We talked about bridal parties, but what started best man, maid of honor?
Oh, yes.
Because like they talk about how you had all the people standing up with you.
Yeah.
But did they have like a designated best man, a designated maid of honor? Because that's something that I think also is kind of fading.
Yeah. Let's see here. So this talks about best man, but I'm sure it's similar for maid of honor. Okay, it says the best man tradition was started centuries ago in Scotland. In the 16th century, Scottish men would usually marry women from their small village, but when there wasn't enough women to go around, oh God, I don't like how this is going. Oh God.
What to say?
What is going on in this world? I'm gonna have a laughing fit here. Give me a second. Okay, but
what? Want me to read it? This one caught you off guard?
Honestly, it really did.
What's it say?
Okay.
Jordan.
Okay. Scottish men would usually marry women from their small village. When there wasn't enough women to go around, a groom would have to invade a neighboring village and steal himself a bride. Just wait, there's more. Okay. This kind of marauding was predictably risky, and so the groom would bring along the best man he knew, as in the best and loyal fighter, to help him kidnap a woman and bring her back to his village and eventually marry her.
Huh. Not what I expected.
The best man would also defend the groom before enjoying the marriage ceremony against the bride's family, who would come swords swinging to try and get her back. During the ceremony, the best man would stand to the right of the groom, hand on his sword, to battle anyone who might charge up the aisle toward the groom. Talk about wedding drama.
Wow.
It says, these days, kidnapping is thankfully no longer the norm.
Yeah.
The best man's strong sentiments for the groom usually come out in the toast, not in a throwdown in his honor. Usually.
Kidnapping is like the biggest thing that is with tradition.
This is wild. This is like I have a new lease on the best man now.
Yeah.
This is the wildest. I bet you no one knew that.
Honestly.
I'm confused. Okay, so what about the maid of honor? What do we do?
Put that.
I need to know.
Well, maybe it is. Well, it definitely wouldn't be that because she doesn't have to go steal a man.
Yeah, but maybe she's supposed to protect the bride and not get her stolen.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
No, I'm sorry. I could not keep.
I thought it was gonna be like when there's no women left, he finds like the best suitable man to pick or something. Don't know why I jumped to that.
I wish it was.
Yeah, that would have been good. That would have been good.
What is the origin?
It's like men are gonna be shocked by this.
Well, I love that actually.
That's
it's
hilarious.
Kind of wild.
Makes sense, I guess. Like.
History of the Maid of Honor. This is the same website as the Best Man one, so
okay,
it should
so
be very
should be
similar.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Ancient Romans believed that evil spirits haunted weddings, so to protect the bride and groom, they required 10 witnesses. This is kind of what we talked about.
So why did they think that weddings were so haunted?
I don't know. That should be right.
That should be okay.
The Maid of Honor was one of the attendants. She and the other bridesmaids dressed like the bride for another crucial reason to trick to
Sorry.
She and the other bridesmaids dressed like the bride for another crucial reason, to trick every mortal aggressor, the men in the groom's village who were jealous of the groom and might try to steal his bride away. Let's see what else. It says, brides in ancient times traditionally traveled to the groom's village for the ceremony, so she really needed reliable protection. The maid of honor made sure that she stuck by her side, dressed exactly like her to confuse any threats until her fate was secured. The maid of honor also helped the bride dress before the wedding, as she still does today, and helped her weave the wreath of aromatic flowers believed to protect her from evil spirits.
Oh, okay.
The term maid of honor came from the United Kingdom, meaning female attendants to the queen. So it traditionally she would help her make the bouquet. That's cute.
Cute. Okay.
See us women?
Yeah.
We're not wild.
No, we
make
supportive.
Sense.
Yep.
We are supportive
We're
girls.
Not stealing
supportive
no
queens.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
We are just trying to help our girl.
That's crazy.
That is wild. That took me off. That took me for a loop. I'm so sorry.
It's a bit of a plot twist, I would say.
That is the biggest plot twist I think I've found in this.
That's a fun little fact.
It is. Yeah.
From that crazy wild plot twist, let's talk about why do we get married in a church? I feel like this
should be
wholesome.
Yes, but you never know.
But with this talk of spirits and, You're
right. Okay. For much of the early Christian era, the church stayed out of weddings and let the state handle the union of a man and a woman.
Oh.
Finally, sometime after 800 AD, so a long time ago, the church began to perform weddings, and a few centuries later, the Catholic Church made marriage one of the sacraments. So it says, why do you have to get married in a church? It says, the real reason for a church wedding is to celebrate a solemn sacrament. Since marriage is a sacrament, the Catholic Church requests that it be celebrated within a sacred place, a church. So pretty straightforward.
Pretty much makes sense.
Kind of what I thought it was going to say.
But you never know. Okay, another one. Why do you mail guest invitations? I feel like this one might also be self-explanatory, but...
Okay, mailing guests printed wedding invitations. Before the invention of the printing press, weddings were typically announced by the town crier, and anyone within earshot was welcome to attend.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
People were largely illiterate during the Middle Ages. Written wedding invitations were only used by England's aristocracy during this time. The noble class would commission monks to handwrite their wedding announcements. Despite the emergence of the printing press, printing techniques proved to be too rudimentary to produce stylish invitations. However, newspapers became popular in the 1600s, and the wealthier, literate class began printing wedding announcements in their local paper.
And was everyone still invited?
I think so, yeah.
Interesting.
And it says engraved invitations needed time to dry, so tissue paper would be placed on top to prevent ink smudges. This tradition remains to this day. So it's pretty, I mean, I think the cool thing to hear about that is that they used to just like yell it out in the town.
Yeah, totally.
And anybody that heard could come, which is like kind of neat. No one does that anymore, obviously.
Definitely not.
You'd be like, come to my wedding, and like no one would hear it.
Yeah, literally.
Like the car would go by, and then he'd be like, I'll be there, and that's it.
Okay, what about stag and stagettes?
Oh, like, yeah.
Because that's definitely a tradition.
Oh, I feel like this one might be a wild one.
I'm scared.
I'm actually a little bit worried.
I think it could be spicy.
So I'll do it each one at a time.
Yeah.
Origin.
What do you think started first? Probably stagettes. Or stags.
Listen, it's always the crazy guys, it sounds like.
Yep.
History. The bachelor party dates back as early as the 5th century BC.
Wow.
That's wild. The ancient Spartans celebrated the groom's last night as a single man, in which they held a dinner and made toast on his behalf. Oh, that sounds very...
Sounds a lot more...
peaceful. I think we're going to find another article because there has to be more to that. I don't believe that's all it is. Spartan soldiers held a dinner in their friend's honor and made toast on his behalf. Since then, the events have generally grown. Oh, so like literally that's all it is.
Oh.
Like it says, in the past, a bachelor party would commonly involve a black tie dinner hosted by the groom's father with toast to the groom and the bride.
But was she there?
Oh, and then here it goes into bachelorette parties. Okay. By the sexual revolution of the 1960s. Okay, so it looks like, from the looks of it, bachelorette parties did not become a thing until the 60s. Revolution.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yep.
Women launched their own version of the pre-wedding festivities. Prior to the 19th century, women were limited to bridal showers, the main function of which to acquire gifts and prepare them for marriage. Bachelorette parties allowed women the opportunity to express their own sexual freedom with drinking games and male strippers. Okay.
That started in the 60s?
Woo! Apparently.
It's interesting.
But I don't think there's anything too, like,
wild,
historic about it. I mean, it sounded pretty tame back in the day.
It's more crazy now.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I think another thing like that I'm reading says the same thing, so I really don't think that... Yeah. I don't think it was too wild.
Okay, that's happy. Good to know.
I'm so proud of you guys.
It wasn't something weird.
I really am proud.
And last but not least, I think since this is the finale of our 2-part series, let's talk about the exits that they used to do that were really common, and the getaway cars and the cans on the car.
What about and the honeymoon?
And the honeymoon we can talk about.
Okay,
too.
So what should I do first?
Talk about the getaway car and like the exit, because that's really not a thing anymore.
So origin of a wedding exit. We're just gonna do that first.
Have you ever seen a wedding exit?
No.
I've seen people fake it, like they do the sparklers as like a pretend kind of thing.
The wedding send-off tradition all began with throwing rice, a symbol of prosperity and good luck, kept simple by passing around baskets of rice among friends and family to toss. Dating back to ancient Rome, the tossing of rice on a newly married couple also signified fertility both for the couple and their crops.
Okay.
I honestly think it's just something that they used to do. Like, there's really no reason. They just left. Because it was just very customary for people to leave.
And go on their honeymoon immediately after.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the cans on the car?
Okay.
That one I'm actually curious about.
It is widely believed that clamorous send-offs, like the timeless rattle of tin cans on the back of a newlywed's getaway vehicle, stems from the French tradition of charivari, French word for uproar. Centuries ago, a charivari was used to censure a marriage. What does that mean?
I have no idea. I've never heard that word before.
According to this article, the tradition of tying cans to a getaway car's bumper is said to have come from the French word, right, charivari, meaning to perform a noisy mock and celebrate a newly married couple.
Okay, cute.
It is used as a way to noisily serenade the couple as they drove away.
So it's just a celebration.
It's just a celebration.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
That's cute. I like it.
It's kind of like clapping when they like say I do.
You're just celebrating.
So I'd see this is one of the more wholesome ones.
Yep,
I'm a fan.
I like that.
Okay.
Cute. Okay, so now honeymoons. What's the tradition? I think we can all probably assume.
Let's not jump to conclusions.
No.
You never know.
Yeah.
Okay. The word honeymoon is thought to have originated in medieval times. At the time, it was common for newlywed couples to drink mead for a moon cycle, 30 days, after their wedding. This tradition was believed to bring good luck and fertility to the couple.
Wow.
So it was more like a honey month.
Yeah.
Not a honeymoon.
Oh yeah, it
but
used to be a month.
Listen, but that's why it's called a honeymoon.
It's called a honeymoon because of the moon cycle.
This is something that I can get behind.
Yeah,
Let's go on a vacation for a month.
Oh,
after
I'm down.
your
I
wedding.
think that should be
brought
back.
That's wild.
But yeah, that was.
I just want to read this. So it says, "What is the real purpose of a honeymoon?" So the word honeymoon itself is derived from the Scandinavian practice of drinking mead during the first month of the marriage in order to improve the likelihood of conception. So mead is supposed to like make you more fertile.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, that's very interesting. Okay. I think it's cool that like literally it's funny that like because mead is made from honey and it's like fermented tea.
Okay,
and
so
whatever.
honey.
So it's literally honeymoon literally means what it means, and absolutely none of us probably knew what it actually. No. I did not know that's what it meant.
Huh.
But also, can we all just take this as a sign to take a month-long honeymoon after our wedding and make it come back? Because I would love. Listen, I'm not getting married, but I'd love a honeymoon right now.
Right now,
except for
let's go on a honeymoon.
Except for the fertility part, because I don't need that. But
no.
I actually really love that. That's cool. What a nice little way to wrap this up.
Yeah, I honestly think the main takeaway is that brides used to get, what's the word?
Attacked.
And
there was a lot of evil things going on back then.
A lot of evil. That is scary.
It is very scary.
But yeah, it's kind of fun to actually know what all of this crazy stuff means.
Yeah. That's wild.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed, and
I hope that you learned something like just a little bit new.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's just a good reminder that like,
you should know what's going on before,
I love it though. I feel like
it's been very interesting.
I feel so educated right now.
Yeah.
I have a whole new lease on weddings.
I know. And what to do and what, maybe
now I'm
skippable.
Gonna be like popping out all these like
fun facts. Fun facts.
I'm gonna be popping out all these fun facts in my wedding. So everyone's gonna think I'm just some like wedding star that knows everything, which I am. But
exactly.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, and if you have any other ones or want to debunk anything,
tell us if we're wrong. Google might have lied to us.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We also Googled all these, so we could be completely off.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
hilarious.
Well, yeah, we'll see you guys next week, and thank you for listening.
Goodbye.
Bye.